Hi, it's Steve Bloom with AmericasComedy.com, and we are in the green room of Tommy T's in Rancho Cordova with the great Paul Rodriguez. Paul, thank you very much for
I don't know about the great, but the present one here.
Well, and just for our viewers, this is not Paul Rodriguez, the skateboard genius.
The wealthy young man. My kid is just almost erased me from Google. You know, if you don't have an existence on the internet, you're not real, you're not exist.
You've been doing comedy for 32 years?
Yes, this will be my 32nd year, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long, other than you wake up a little slower in the morning, you know. Age is insidious because it sneaks up on you, you know. I think mentally we're all the age we want to be, you know. When you're 18, 19, 20, you stay that way. And then all of a sudden, as time goes by, you find yourself imprisoned inside this body that you don't know who this old guy is. You know, you wake up in the morning, what happened? Get out of there! Who stole my body?
Well, you know, you've done comedy and you've done movies and television and everything. What's your favorite? What do you like to do the best?
Well, stand-up is really the only reason to do anything else. You know, there are comedians who are stand-ups first and everything else afterwards. And there are comedians who do comedy to use it as a vehicle to become you know, celebrities on their own sitcoms or movie stars, and then they never hardly ever return. Case in point is I believe Jim Carrey is one of the most talented live performers there is, period. And but you know, I don't think you can get him back to perform. You know, ever since he's been in movies, he's been offered tremendous amounts of money, which is no motivator. You got the man Robin Williams who basically went to Juilliard. Is a great stand-up, but ever since he started doing movies, he's come back, but it ain't the same Robin, you know. Doing stand-up is not something you can go back to. It's not like riding a bicycle. It's not something you can take for granted. It's a constant struggle to fight yourself from getting into old habits up on stage, and then you have to remember a sequence. You know, it's a lot to it, more than just going up there. And I've seen speakers at podiums who take notes and cards. You know, that's cheating. Which I might cheat tonight, but most of all, it should be fluid. It should be a conversation. You should make the audience feel like they're talking back to you without actually talking back to you. It's a religious experience. When it's all done well, it's seamless. It's a wonderful night. There's always something you can criticize yourself about, but you know, you go on. You know, I like to do stand-up. That's the reason I've been in 40 films, but I do it also so people know my name to do stand-up. And
how often do you change your set? How often do you go through your material?
Every night, because now especially with memory loss, you know, every night. And also, comedy, a lot of it depends on an audience. You know, every night, like I said, the scary and the adrenaline, the excitement of it all is. I could have had a great show last night, or I could have a great show in the first show and have a bad show in the second show. You never really know. It's in how the audience receives it, and it really isn't how you deliver it. But there's so many variables because you can deliver something exactly the same, and something might happen in the audience. Someone might drop a glass. They're distractions. They might have something else on their mind. A lot of it has to do with your opening act. Also, your opening act might piss them off for you. Your opening act might make them. Your opening act might be too good, which is in this case, you know. And you never know. It's like that's the fear of it. It's like parachuting without the parachute, hoping that there's a giant haystack that you're going to land softly on. You know, even as I talk to you right now, I know that in a few minutes I'm going to go up there, and I don't know what's out there. I don't know what kind of mood they're in. I don't know if they're upset. And for my set, the worst part about being the closer is 3/4 after you've been on, they get hit with a bill. I almost wish there was something you could do about it, but of course you can't. You know, I don't care how good you are. I've seen the best comics work, and I've never seen a comic so good that the audience goes, ha, 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 ha. They just don't.
You know, what a lot of people don't realize is how active you are in giving a platform for young comedians to come up.
You know, it's something that I think I learned from Rodney Dangerfield, who was like that with all of us. Rodney Dangerfield was a guy that remained eternally young, hip, and generous. Here's a guy that was well into his 70s, you know, 80s. I met him when he was 68, 67. I remember going to a birthday party, just being in awe of him. and he coming up to me, goes, "Hey kid, I saw you. You know, you got a good angle. Got a good angle. Hey, you gotta get together. We're gonna get some chicks." He opened this house, his home to all of us, not just me. He told me how he regretted the fact that he really hit fame at a later age and missed out on all the hoopla, all the, you know, like he would call it, all the hoopla. I don't know what a hoopla is, but it sounds good. Doesn't it sound good? Hoopla. You know, we were protective of him. At his funeral, I believe it was the most entertaining funeral, if there is such a thing, because he started it all off with a video that he played, and it said, "Well, I guess if you're watching this, things didn't go well." You know, you're crying, and it was the most attended. He was universally loved. It's like they become part of your life, and then when they go, see, I don't mourn old people who've had a life. They did what they did. You know, they spent their years in whatever way they did. They had that choice. But you know, the Hicks, the young guys that lose their life, those are the guys that you say, man, what a loss. You know, what other song could we have gotten from them? What other ideas did they have? You know,
Robert Schimmel is like that for me.
Robert Schimmel is someone that I also have known since, man, really at the beginning of the whole thing. I mean, he wrote my first HBO special. I mean, I don't know. I don't have to tell you. He did?
Yeah. He
when?
2 days ago. Sorry, dude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had a car accident a couple days prior.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was kind of my hero.
I mean, I knew Schimmel some. My God, we started together. Well, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
What a life he had. I don't know,
So many challenges.
so many challenges. You know, I mean, Jesus, I'm sorry, but
You were doing comedy during the heyday, during the 80s and 90s with Sam Kinison and all of the
Yes.
greats. So how is the generation of new comics coming up? It's totally different. What would you advise them?
well, you know, it's harder. I think it's harder because think of all the styles and all the genres. You can look at a new comic coming up, and you can pretty much, by the way they perform, you can see who his influences are, who their idols are. You know, but I would say it's more difficult because even when I started, there was still an opportunity for other things to be done, and now with technology coming in. Television for us, my generation, was the pawn shop for your act. You know, you'd work on 5 minutes, you'd do another Tonight Show, and then you'd have to let it go because everybody else would know that routine. And really, comedy is not like a singer. A singer, you go see the singer, they don't sing your favorite song, you get upset. Well, a comic, you think you want to hear them do the same routine, but because comedy depends on a surprise of the punchline, and you knowing the punchline, it doesn't give you that same effect. And the proof in it is if the funniest joke anybody ever told you, the third time you heard that joke, it lost its appeal, you know? So I would say if I had to do it all over again, the Rosetta Stone of the whole thing is to try to find a voice, something that identifies you. I don't really care what it is. With me, it was, when I first started, it was the Mexican guy, you know? Freddie Prinze had been around, he was my hero. He was the Chico and the Man, the Puerto Rican guy. I became the Mexican guy. And that's another thing, you know, once you make your bed, make sure you're going to be comfortable sleeping in it, you know. Don't try to change the public's mind. You only have one, you know, you could only be have an opportunity to be seen by somebody once, and people form their opinion on you like that, and, you know, live with that.